Okay. That's funny. What's up, YouTube, man? What's happening? Welcome in, man, to another episode, man, another live. And we not even about to play no games today. We jumping straight in. It's raining where I'm at. It's gloomy, but I'm in the place. I'm in the spot where bricks. It's brick. I'm gonna call this Brick City. We can call this Brick City. Yeah, we in Brick City. Hey, look at Nerd with Swag. Meet Nine. So today I want to talk Invicta, man, and it's cool that I got Meet Nine here, man. I want to tell a little story about that. But I'm going to be doing some watch reviews today. I'm going to be talking about the history of Invicta. Man, it's so pet, man. The pettiest man on the planet. Thank you for interrupting the live. Brick City, that's right. We're in Brick City. What it do? Tony Wolves in the building. Jay Jones. I said, yo. All right, so check this out, y'all. Across the metaverse, there are so many stories about watches and horology and how this thing works. What's the best watch to get? Top 5, top 10 affordable watches. Watches that will transcend time, watches that will solidify your life, that will give you social status, that will identify success in your life, right? There's all those. And then there's Invicta, right? And based on what I'll put as a thumbnail, that terminology actually comes from buy two Invicta, get four free type of terminology. But like, there is a science to this. Buy an Invicta, get keys to the universe. Let me explain. Today's watch is a Pro Diver, a 40 millimeter homage to the great Rolex Submariner. This watch is equipped with a flame fusion crystal. Yep, it's flame fusion crystal. It has a Salida 200 in it, right? 120 click bezel, stainless steel, safety, dual safety deployment class. You have about, let's see, how many levels? You have 4 levels of micro adjust, so you will get the perfect fit for somebody that absolutely loves homage pieces. This watch was one of the pieces that actually landed Invicta in some hot water with Rolex back in the day because it was too close. It was way too close to the Submariner. So, of course, Rolex won that suit. And here we have, this is the rendition of it, which I think, honestly, this is one of the best homages that they have outside of the 1953 homage that Invicta does. So you got your crown guards on this bad boy. This thing is like, once you get it sized with push pins, anybody can do it. All you got to do is look at a video, I promise, and just be comfortable. Do, knock it out. And even if you scratch it, guess what? This watch don't cost as much, and there's this thing called Amazon where you can always buy another bracelet. You can buy straps. You can do all. Amazon got everything. So that's that. Let me put this watch back on. And let me finish talking to British. Oh no, you said Breitling-ish. I said British. I don't know why I said British. What's up, Eric Mack is in the building. Salute. Yeah, Luciano is in the building. Hey, and we're about to take a deep dive, no pun intended, on Pro Divers, man. So what is it about Invicta that really sparks interest? What does Invicta mean to the world? Now, I will say this. If you just search every video, every YouTuber, content creator, seller, dealership, whoever on YouTube, everybody has their idea of what Invicta is. Some say it's rubbish, some say it's garish, and I'm gonna show you some garish pieces here today. The one thing that I haven't seen duplicated from any other watch company that Invicta did and did very well, be it accidental, be it that there were a few, like it was Jim Skelton and a couple others that made Invicta shine brighter than the sun, is it brought people together. It gave an idea of what timekeeping was and community and a sense of pride. There was a sense of, so I asked this question like last week, is there a watch that carries the vibe of a Rolex, right? And what I meant by that when I asked that question is Is there a company, is there a watch that makes you feel like you've accomplished something? It's an heirloom. It's all of the above. It's all of the everything that you, when you think of Rolex, is there a watch or a watch company that produces a watch that makes you feel that way? Well, I could say that people that like Christopher Ward may think it's the Bel Canto. People that like, let's see, Casio, you know, it could be, or G-Shock. It could be their G-Shock, right? So I think, honestly, there are watches, right? It's all in the eye of the beholder. Beauty and their thought process is in the eye of the owner. So let me just jump into one of Invicta's, one of the last Swiss made pieces that this was actually a gift, and I want to focus in on this one. It's automatic. It's an R150 in this watch. They did not call this the Pro Diver, even though it's a dive watch. It has the diver bezel, and this actually. Invicta's never been a slouch on their bezel action. Some kind of have some bounce back, but this one, no bounce. This watch is so solid, and it has an integrated look to it. This one is a 46 millimeter timepiece, and pretty thick, but it's comfortable. It's well balanced for its size, and the fact that it has, you know, the R150 in it. Y'all see that? Scissor style deployment class. It's a really nice watch, and they have this also, I think, in a 50 millimeter. So people that love the bigger size watches, you can still get that. And then you see that, boom, magnification. Now, this was a gift. I got this from the infamous Invicta Ryan. He has been one of Invicta's spokesperson for a long time. I want to say 11 years before this debacle with Invicta and Shop HQ and stuff like that. And we're going to talk about that too. What's good, everyone? Wearing my Hamilton Bolton today. What's on your wrist? Yeah, man, y'all do a watch check, man. What y'all wearing, man? What y'all rocking? Model number on Invicta with Salida. Yes. Hold on. Oh, 9937 OB. This is the original bezel. 9937 OB. When this watch came out, I believe there's a blue variant. And if I could get, now that's one, if I can get my hands on that blue variant at a reasonable price, because some of you guys are price gouging, and y'all listen, if you can stay to the end, we're going to do an hour. There are a number of people that are selling Invicta pieces right now. Some being, I'll get into that. I just want to get through like everything else. What's up? Come on. What's up, brother? Another collector, and you guys will keep me on task with, like, when I see certain names, this is what I want to speak on when it comes to Invicta. Now, I came late in the game, right? There were people that were so established with the brand. I remember watching YouTube, and I used to look at all of the Invicta videos. If you go back 15 years of Invicta, you'll see videos with no voice whatsoever. You'll see somebody with a pair of white gloves and they're holding a particular model. The description of it will pop up on the screen, and that's that. Some classical music. You'll have some people that's doing voiceovers, but yeah, like 12, 13, 14, 15 years ago, they were showing different models, and I was very interested. Now, Invicta, hands down, one thing that's not being said on YouTube, it is a gateway watch. My history with Invicta, and this, like, most recent history, was running into a watch collector that started out, and I don't have their representation here, but he started out with a Venom. And from there, he had his Pro Divers, and he had these other watches. But like now, he's buying Oris and everything else. And it was the way Tim Temple and all these other people were talking about it back in the day when it was Value Vision or the Shop HQ or whatever, Shop NBC. They were introducing you to what, like, Swiss movements were, right? They were literally making these watches larger than life. And it was a social experiment, if you will. And there was a community building behind the scenes doing those watch forums. Before it actually went mainstream with YouTube, there were forums where people were talking back and forth. There were people trading their watches back and forth. And the one thing about it is, if you didn't know anything about a watch, after they got through explaining what these watches do, you had to have it. I mean, like say for example, you have And I'll say the Shop NBC and all this stuff, they were ahead of their time because you got so many YouTubers right now that will give you a 12-minute video. Teddy B will give you like 30 minutes at a time, sometimes like them longer ones when he's really explaining. But there are over 1 million people that subscribe to him because of his knowledge of the watch, because of his passion and everything else, and the fact that he owns a store now. There's a number of reasons why. Well, that was what they were doing back then through Home Shopping Network, right? And they were making these watches like you had to have them, and you couldn't, it wasn't something that you had to get one. You were like, okay, I got that one. It was a value pay system. So if this watch was back in the day, let's say it was $250, right? You got $250 in the bank, but then why spend that $250 when you can drop $20 that day, pay shipping, and they'll send it out to you in about 7 days, and you got the watch and you pay over 6 months, you got it at home. But like, you know what? I can buy more. And then you'll come up with something like, and we talking pro divers, man. Listen, adjust the color on your TV, man, and your phones and stuff like that. Because we coming in hot with some colors, boy. Look at that right there. Sheesh. Look at that. Sheesh. This right here is the Grand Diver. And this is sort of a homage. Well, sort of. It is a homage to the Yachtmaster, right? And you got an NH35 in the back of that thing. This was a limited run, 47 millimeters. This watch right here was the epitome of I gotta have it. I have to have it. They made this thing just ferocious. And then you had people that was like, okay, you got the NH35? I need it with a Salida, please. I need it with Salida. And people were tuning in. They were writing Ryan Johnson had this thing on email. All right, I want to see this watch. As you can see, look at that purple, look at that capuchon. And then you see it right there, described, Grand Diver. And I know some people on YouTube was like, I hate having that on there, but marketing, the logo, think about it. Nike's putting everything on there. Branding is everything. All right, let me get into the chat real quick. Okay, we good on chat. We good on chat. Now this right here is powered by the NH36, which I hardly ever see. Like, I really don't see that, the NH36 being featured even in micro brands that much. But Invicta was killing the game with it. Mercedes hands, and you have like a GMT function for the bezel. Without the GMT, it's not a functional. It's not like, you know what I'm saying? You got the 24-hour clock around the bezel, and you're like, bro, that makes no sense. Like, you don't have a GMT hand. Why do you have that? Because they can. It's the aesthetics. It's the overall look. And people are matching. They were matching their watches to their shoes, to their suits, man, getting dressed up. And then, man, don't talk about Easter Sunday. Yeah, man, you know how many people, man, I'm telling you, I can visit a church, and I guarantee you I'm going to see an Invicta timepiece sitting over there. Now, on here, like, you see the scribe on the back, man. Other information center, that's pretty dope. And this is a flame fusion crystal. And the flame fusion, if you don't know what flame fusion crystal is, like, you have a number of crystals. This is said to be a mineral crystal with the properties of having sapphire infused in it. I don't know how that works. I'm not a chemist. And I've had people challenge me sometime in the comment section saying, hey, be for real, bro. There's no such thing. I'm like, hey, bro, listen. I'm not the one that you need to go combat. Go talk to them over there in Invicta and ask them what the deal is. Now, I'll tell you another thing that upon my review or inspection of this watch, I'll show you because I have a 7 1/4 inch wrist. Once I got this thing sized, that's what it looks like on the wrist. I actually have 2 pairs of shoes that go with this watch. 2 pair. And I'm like, yeah, I like this one. And this is one that I'll take on a cruise with me. When I do go on vacation, I will take this with me. Because I don't know, man, I just love the look. I love just like having that color looking down. Now, the one thing that Invicta could never get right, I mean, ever, they were always lazy on this, man. Their loom was like, they even made a watch that was, the whole basis of the watch was loom, and the loom never lasted. I actually tested that watch. That loom in comparison to what Seiko does, and considering that it's a Seiko movement inside these watches, their loom never lasted. With the exception of like their older, I didn't bring it with me, like the Valjoux pieces, their reserves, that loom lasted a lot longer than any other model. That, I don't know what Invicta was thinking. I'm like, for years, I'm like, yo, can we get an extra layer loom? Can we get some strong loom? Because you shine that on there, I'm talking about 10 minutes after that, man, that thing dead. It's as if you never charged the loom at all. So that's that. And then again, if you're just getting here, we're talking Invicta. We're talking about the lifestyle of Invicta. Lifestyle, get that? Those have been rocking with me for a long time. Y'all know what I'm talking about. All right, so going back in time, right? One thing that Invicta is good for, once we hit 2017, right? So if I go back to 2016, hold up, go back to 2016, watching Evine, everybody's in the chat, we're talking, and then they make mention of a cruise. And there has yet to be another watch company to charter an entire ship of their customers, their fan base, to go on a cruise. Now, I know that they have parties with Panerai, Panaristes. I know, like, there's like, I think, what was it? AP does something. I think Patek does something, like, where they have the people come in. But I have yet to see a cruise, right? And you know how crazy that is? Invicta was so far ahead of their time to where they said, hey, we're so confident that our watch brand is one of the best watch brands in the world, to where we're going to host a cruise. And there's only 22 to 2,300 people that can actually, and the cruise sells out. It's sold out every time. Sold out every time. So 2017, I missed that one. 2018 was my first introduction. That was when I got to meet a lot of Invicta collectors, right? And during that time, this was a popular watch right here. This is a boat. Now this one is the puppy. This is a more of a newer rendition, because at one point, this guy named Roger Good, you can go look him up. He wrote books and made cartoon characters for children, and this is one of the characters that he has. But Invicta was real big with partnerships with companies, man. So he had 3 different artists. He had Disney, he had Marvel, NFL, NHL, Major League Baseball. He never got the NBA. He had a number, you know what I'm saying? Shaq, like, he had a number of people, and all of those partnerships just faded over time. But before we get to that, the cruises, you will see this watch represented. Reminds you of like a stopwatch, right? You turn it on the side. This watch, when I first saw it, I just loved the design of it. It was just something, like, it was just everything. The chronograph, it was look at the pushes, are so oversized on this watch, man. It's so massive, man. This thing takes up so much territory on your wrist. Hold on, let's get into it. So peep that out. Now, back in the day, Invicta had a problem with their polyurethane. Polyurethane would, like, it get brittle. You have to condition that thing, because whatever company they were using, you keep that thing stored up. And that was one of the problems with Invicta. The biggest problem is collecting so many. It was easy. It was cheap. Because what is your average when you look at a company right now? Any company that houses a Sellita 200, a Sellita 300, or Sellita 500, these watches are going to be right now in the industry about $500 or more, right? Invicta was doing that too. Invicta was charging, let's see, their chronographs, when you had either the Sellita 500 or the ETA version, the 7750, the Valjoux. Shoot, back in the day, you could pay over $2,000 for those watches, but then it came down in price. And before they got rid of certain models, man, you'll see a chronograph, a Swiss chronograph from Invicta, go for about $500. You know what I'm saying? So there's not a lot of companies that will do that now. So if you look at a company that has a Salida 300 or 330, it's like what, $900 or better. Who was it? Well, no, that's not even. I'm sorry. I'm thinking. I was about to say Laurier, but Laurier, that's an NE8. It's NE88 in theirs. But yeah, there's not a lot of companies that will come under that, you know what I'm saying, a certain price. Where Invicta was doing that, Invicta was allowing customers to get into a brand of watch or model of watch that was outside of the norm. This is outside of your normal watch because it's oversized. This is a 50 millimeter, right? And then it also catered to the ladies because that was the biggest thing. That the ladies were their biggest customer. Look at this piece right here. This right here is actually a Marvel piece, and they no longer have. So anybody that has the Marvel pieces, you have a piece of history with Invicta. That's Captain Marvel, and my wife's not even a Marvel fan. You know what I'm saying? She's not into that stuff like that. She'll watch it if, you know, like if it's on, and we doing some family stuff. But this gave her opportunity to be a part of something else. She's not a watch collector. She collected just because I collect watches. But then this opened her up to meet all type of people. And that was the biggest thing that people can't rate. It hasn't, they have yet to rate that on YouTube. And if somebody did, I just missed it. But for the most part, they're going to rate Invicta by its quality, right? In comparison to the price point. And that one, it was like, that's kind of hard to do. You know, because if you're comparing Invicta to a Rolex, you can't. Besides just the way it looked, that's it. The finishing, everything. I mean, but it's a great looking watch because this watch, with a Salida 200, a Swiss movement in it. This watch I paid, I think, just at $200 for this watch. So you got a stainless steel watch. You have this one has aluminum bezel in this one, and it works. It's functional. This could be a one and done. Like if somebody was like, and again, if you stay to the end, I'm gonna tell you that there's some spots that you can go buy watches from. He may even, I don't know if Kamon is willing to rush some of his pieces, but he got some pieces that, yeah, definitely want to have in your collection. But also one of the partnerships that, you know, that Invicta has still to this day that I think is one of the smartest moves. They just ain't doing nothing with them. They don't advertise them or nothing. It's glycine. Glycine. I've shown this watch many times. This one right here is one of my favorite glycines in time. But you can also get, there's a glycine that you can get. The new combat sub is $500. Salida 200. Man, that is really, man, that watch is really nice. It's really nice. And I'm just looking at the still pictures of it in some of the videos. TGV actually reviewed that watch. There was a couple people reviewed it, but glycine off top. That's the second. Uh-oh, I think I lost my chat. Oh man, can't see chat now. Hope y'all still with me. Let's see. I'm gonna do something because I'm gonna see if I can get my chat. Give me a second, y'all. I'm still, hold on, give me a. Okay. All right, cool. No, I was putting some in the chat. Thanks, bro. I appreciate it. I put something in the chat, and I just want you guys to answer that question. Are you guys a fan of current day Invicta? Let's move on to the next piece. Now, this is another one of Wifey's pieces, and This right here is all ceramic. Now, I've seen some watch. Now I don't know the quality, how good it is in comparison to, like some of the bigger brands. But keep in mind, watches from Invicta were made to be affordable, and that was one of the things that always just boggled my brain is how, when you're rating a watch, when you're rating an Invicta timepiece up against a luxury timepiece, how does that compare? If you're, unless you're just using it saying, hey, Invicta for this reason, Invicta is, I didn't know the thing rotates. Invicta is darn close, is pretty good for the price that you pay. So for this one right here, you're paying under $200 for a piece like this, a quartz piece with mother of pearl. It has a chronograph function on it, and it's all ceramic. The bezel insert, ceramic. The watch itself is ceramic. The case and you got the stainless steel on the back. But other than that, yeah, nothing happening. Hold on. You know what? I lost my chat, y'all, so I can't see the chat. There we go. All right. I got it back. Woo! Thank you. Not a current fan, but I did grab the Subaru Noma 8 automatic because it's different. It is. Holden, what's going on? Nerd with swag, Watchman 54. Brown girl Bella in here. Girl, what's happening? Thank you for being here. You a Black History moment. Brown girl Bella. For real. The epitome of soul. Thank you I appreciate you being here, really do. I have a case of Diamond Invictus, a lot of limited reserves. My favorite one is a limited edition 200s. Well, since you said diamonds, I had to bring one out. What's up, boy? Have you seen this right here? Look at this. You peep that out? Hold on, I want them to see it.
Oh, that looks great.
Oh,
I
yeah.
see the diamonds in there.
Diamonds, you know what I'm saying? Diamonds is not just a girl's best friend. You feel what I'm saying?
That's my birthstone too, I know.
Oh, for real? You December?
Let's see that. April.
April? No, April. Yeah. Oh, Lord. What time in April?
Huh?
When's your birthday?
14.
Ah, Lord have mercy. Look at them diamonds, though. Them diamonds. Yeah.
Well, that looks good. All right, I'll see you later.
You just make sure I have breakfast for
Right.
a lot. Yeah, but I got diamonds in this thing. This was an anniversary gift, man. Look at that. And this is one of the things, the key features to Invicta, I will tell you that I thought was phenomenal. They allowed you to get into diamond pieces with Swiss movement, right? And this is one thing that I know. Rolex diamonds. Now, of course, the diamonds, the diamonds are better quality, right? And those, they better be. I looked at a diamond piece. There was a diamond. Oh my gosh, it was Rolex diamonds. I can't remember the model number, but it was at Moya Jewelers. That watch sold for $114,000. And this piece right here, you're talking around $2,000. And if you did, like in certain times of the year, if it didn't sell, you may look at $1,200. And you have a piece that you could be proud of. It's even diamonds in the actual crown of this thing. You see that? Oh, that thing blingy. You feel what I'm saying? This is one of those pieces I won't ever get rid of. If my entire Invicta collection was gone or had to leave, that's the one piece out of everything that can't. It just can't. You know what I'm saying? There's some that I have received from people that I would never want to get rid of, but yeah, that one, yeah. He said, "Great watch, bling bling." Hey, listen, sis. What he said? What is current Invicta? So, bro, you know what that is, man. So currently Invicta has a number of race pieces. They are race inspired at this point because last year they won that award F2 championship, and Invicta has been pushing out. And that here's the other thing too about Invicta, y'all. They don't have the distribution that they used to, man. Like as far as like TV wise, they have JTV, but there's no way to duplicate what was shown on Shop HQ, Shop NBC, even like there's no way. You can't do it. You can't do it. If you do it, man, I'm changing my name to Hubert Mathuguba. There's no way. There's no way. The vibe is, it's like the thrill is gone. For y'all that know that song, the thrill is gone. Now, granted, there are people that still love the brand, and Invicta will pull out a banger. So I'm gonna show you something. This isn't mine either. This is my wife's piece. This right here is called the Ejecte Art. Skeletonized. And I'm gonna tell you, just for raw beauty, I like this watch, man. Look at where the crown is, onion style crown, beautiful bracelet, high polish. It's comfortable because I've worn it. Dual deployment, like the butterfly clasp. This is a great watch. This is a great timepiece. It's a great timepiece. You got moon phase on it, secondary time zone on this watch, and like the way they were explaining that. Here's the thing. Here's the deal. The one of the advantages of watching home shopping networks was they explained the watch. They showed you how to operate the watch. So as they're selling this watch to you, they're telling you how to manipulate the crown and what function to pull it in to actually manipulate the secondary time. And that gave people confidence that, you know what, not only can I be a watch collector, but I can size my own watch. I can set this watch, you know what I'm saying? Like, and you feel you feel accomplished. And then you looking down at this timepiece like, yo, and then you look on YouTube, those that were looking at other channels, they were looking on YouTube and say, yeah, okay, that's a nice watch. And Victor got a watch like that. Ooh, they watches how much? $15,000? Oh shoot, I just paid $150 and my watch looked just as good as that one. And that's been the vibe. And you know, you can argue the quality, but somebody that bought an Invicta, you're not about to argue them down and saying that your watch is better, so much better than it. You're not going to do it. Now there is fan participation, then there's this cultism. Yes, and it is. There is a cultish vibe to Invicta. Let's keep it 100. Let's keep it 100. You know what I'm saying? And people, that's just the way it is. People get into that. They just do. Let's see here. So clean. I have the black and gold version of that watch. Watch, man, your watch collection is crazy. It's 50-50. Are you a current fan of Invicta? I mean, are you a fan of current Invicta? Okay. Let's see. Jay Jones. No, I see that. Invicta would do a lot better if they concentrated on making more traditional size cases as well as not making watches border of being outlandish. Holden, let me explain something to you. I agree with that wholeheartedly, but do you know that Invicta had an opportunity to please both sides of the coin? I remember a commercial, and I've referred to this so many times. I remember a commercial that A.L. Lalo did on Shop HQ a couple years ago. I want to say this is, matter of fact, during COVID or right after COVID, or it was during the COVID time. He stated that, he's not worried about what the industry does. He was more concerned with the customer. But what he has to understand, or what he should have understood, was micro brands and companies like Citizen to Seiko were making adjustments to what the crowd was asking for. They were making adjustments, and Invicta had the opportunity, because let me go back to that cruise thing. Keep in mind, and I know just from the statements, I didn't get this from AL, but just from the statements made on his behalf, why he didn't go back into the cruising. It cost a lot of money. There was a lot, man, it was a lot of red tape you had to go through. There were things you had to do just to make it work. Bringing Shop HQ, having camera crews, and having all this stuff, and protecting the merchandise, all this stuff they had to do, based on what the statement that was given to me, he didn't think it was the reward wasn't worth it. Me as a fan of the brand, I said I didn't agree with that. I said, because if you, and then the profit, so if you made a profit, right? Let's say you spent $2 million, $3 million chartering a ship, bringing all the stuff on there, and once you got done with it, you profited 1.5 mil, right? Or 2 mil. You know what I'm saying? Like, you didn't break even, you made a profit. Is the hassle worth that? Like, that's something that, like, obviously he didn't feel like it was worth it, because after 2020, so 2018, 2019, in my opinion, it didn't live up to the hype of Invicta. I mean, the other two cruises. 2018 and 2020. In 2020, the weather was terrible. It was cold. The ship was rocking everywhere. They had to empty the pool out. But guess what, man? That was it. It was like that thing went out on a bang, man. I'm telling you. Loved it. Absolutely loved that cruise. Let me get back into the chat. Invicta is affordable, bling class, and they're Swiss made. So as long as you buy the Swiss ones, you can always flip them. So good. Well, you know what? That's the thing about Invicta, because it wasn't an investment piece. This was solely, for the most part, was like, hey, it's Pokemon. You got to collect them all. I mean, think about it. For those that's just getting here, if purple is your color, while I get an Invicta store, just sent me a message. Purple Pro Diver, right? For the ladies, 43 millimeter ceramic timepiece. Then you have your more traditional 40 millimeter timepiece that adds the essence of a character without having a character's face on it. But that's Captain Marvel's shield color, the colorway, the whole watch. It just serves so much purpose. It serves so much purpose. And then, before I get into one other watch, I'm gonna tell you one I thought was very interesting. Stone Dials, Tiger's Eye. This is a massive piece, 50 millimeter. This one right here has an ETA 2824 in it. This is a masterpiece. It is a large watch. And get this. Dual deployment clasp on it. You only have, let me see how many. One level of micro adjust, but like you have a diver's extension. Invicta had been messing with that for a while. But they did. They upgraded the bracelet. They gave you a stone dial. They gave you a Swiss movement on there. They gave you diamonds at the 12 o'clock. They gave you 120 click, and it's tight. And the loom on this one is a little bit better than what they normally put on there. Still not strong enough to my liking, because I love loom, but they still did a good job. But this is what's crazy about this watch. Let me show you something. So you unscrew this thing till you get the pop. Now, you look at that. It's red. If you see it's red, your watch is dead if you get in the water. But with that, you don't manipulate this part of the crown anymore. The base part of the crown, you get your nails in there and you pull that thing out to the positions to actually set the time. I thought that was so interesting. So now I just want to show you. You see how much more you see? Now I can manipulate the time on there. Push it back in, screw it down, you're locked tight. 200 meters of water resistance, and you can get in the water with this thing. Swiss movements, Grand Diver. This is a Grand Diver. And let me see, what number is this? It is a number limited piece. I can't see the number on it. This one came with a sapphire crystal, which was great. Model number 45205. And limited edition 149 out of 500. So 149 out of 500. So there was only 500 of this made, and then they had like some other stones. I think there was like 3 other models. Maybe I may be wrong. Two or three other models. Why don't skeletons fight each other? They don't have the guts. Oh man, they go. Oh my gosh. Outlandish is why I love them. The artist in me is pleased. Now I know that's right. Yo, Godfather, what's happening? What up, Frankie? Trap, don't get me wrong. I think if someone likes Invicta in their styles, I think the greatest watch collections is a personal experience, and you should buy what you like and not please us. No, 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 no. I don't take you wrong. No, 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 no. That's no, I do. I promise. I do not take you wrong at all. That for the. This is one thing I do enjoy about doing this is the fact that we get to have a discussion, a real discussion, and to be honest and completely transparent with you guys in the chat and those that watch this for whatever reason. There are people that review Invicta pieces, and then there's people like me that live it. And when I started my channel, when I called it The Lifestyle, my man Tony Woe in the building right now created my thumbnail, or not my thumbnail, but the imagery of the lightning strike, right? There's two people, like, I'm gonna tell you this. Tony Woe threw me that, right? He threw me a lob. I'm like, boom. But then when I came down, Vic was like, you know what? Until the next lightning strike, man. I was like, yo, I like that. So you seeing how Invicta inspired me. My man Tony Woe gave me the push to come out. He said, bro, tell your story. He said, man, you now, it's obviously that you have a love for the community, bro. He said, go ahead and do it. So this is the difference between me reviewing an Invicta timepiece and somebody outside of the community. So anybody that, like, from Invicta 757, Invicta Holics, Mikey Courtney, you know what I'm saying? Like, that was the first group that I was a part of. That's the difference, because I saw Invicta from a different lens. You're getting a watch that it's gonna have the same stainless steel as any other watch on the market. It's going to give you and actually there's watches that I have beat the crap out of. This watch, this Pro Diver, this thing got a bunch of scratches on it, man. I wear this watch. This watch is held up. The timing on it is great, but I also have my NH35s. Now, I'm going to tell you something about the plating on these watches. On the bracelet, the more you wear and you desk dive, that's going to wear out. That plating will wear out. You know what won't wear out? The actual case. The way they do the case is obviously different than the way they do the bracelet, because that hasn't worn out. I got watches, my Blue Labels, that after like extreme wear, it's starting to wear out right here. You can start seeing the actual stainless steel underneath it. But the actual case, they did a good job with applying that, infusing it. You know what I'm saying? So you have that. And there's one that, we don't talk about as much, man, but it has been a part of Invicta's history. A watch that was actually made for the Russian military back in, what was it, 1959? This is the Russian Diver, 15th anniversary, Blue Label. And you see that plate on the side is just giving you information on the watch. It's giving you Invicta vibes on this side. You have the Invicta reserves at the lugs. You have a sizable watch that is, and this is the crown at the very bottom. This watch, this Russian Diver, has a blue mother of pearl, which I think is crazy. This was a must-have for me. I was like, if I don't get another watch in my collection, I have to get this one. This is 8040N movement in here, right? And I had a watchmaker change the battery in here, and he said, wait a minute, let me look this up. Invicta used a high grade of the 8040N in this watch. They was like, yo, I'm amazed that Invicta would go to that length to put a quality Ronda movement in here. And there you have it. This won't leave my collection either, because I wanted this when I first saw this watch. I wanted it, and I do wear this on vacations and stuff like that. If I do an Invicta meetup, I'll throw this on, because it connects me to, like what I started. I will never, man, the way I begun doing this, yes, it's big. I know it's big, yo. It takes up a lot of, space, but hey, look at the bricks for the bracelet. This thing on there, man, man, I don't know. I just feel like it's a gauntlet. You know what I'm saying? I feel like Thanos right now. You know what I'm saying? If I snap, boys, I ain't gonna snap. I'll mess around and erase somebody's life on here, man. You know what? I think it'll be dope if I could put this on and snap your collection into my collection. I know who collection I will snap. There's 2 people on here that I will snap their collection, man. And Kimo Sabi, I'll snap your collection. And my man, come on, I'll snap your collection. You'll come home and I'll leave you 2 or 3. I'll leave you the ones that your family bought you. Everything else, I'm snapping to my collection. Keep the jokes coming. Saying, hold up, let me see. Tiger's Eye, that's sick. And Diamonds at the 12, yeah, man. Dr. Bob's, man, Dr. Bob's be in these YouTube streets, man. Welcome in, Dr. Bob's. Any Invicta Shacks. I do have, my wife won one from Shack during COVID. She got one from Shack. It was crazy. That whole story was crazy. Let's see. I don't think their higher end models come from a different factory. No, I don't think so either. Yes, the Tiger's Eye, it is reserved. That is, dang, what did I just do with it? Oh, I said, did somebody snap my watch away? This was, okay, so you got to understand, Invicta started out, they had a watch called the Reserve, right? And then they went to a Reserve line. And then you had like a Reserve line lasted for a long time. Then you had, dang, I didn't even bring it with me, man. The Heritage line, you had a Heritage line. And then you got this Masterpiece. And I'm not sure if there was one in between that, but I like, they went through the different phases. Looks like 57% of the people say they're not a fan of current Invicta. So Invicta, if you're watching, because I'm going to tag you in this, Invicta, anybody from Invicta, I'm going to tag you in this video, this live. So you'll see people not feeling, 57% of the people that's in this chat are not feeling it. That's not meaning that the masses are not feeling it. But I don't think that they're doing a good job as to, it's not even keeping up with the industry, man. They were trendsetters. Invicta were trendsetters. The Sabakwa line was, man, bro. I'm going to show you one, and this came from a collector. He know who he is. This watch is actually going out. This was purchased already. And I'm supposed to, you know what I'm saying, link up with my mans to get this to him. But this one, where is it? There's a lever on the side of this thing. And this is one that if you don't have fingernails, you will not get to that lever. The cage comes off and you can get straight to the business. This is another watch that I consider to be a cruise classic, a Lido deck killer, if you will. Those that love cruising and stuff like that, Invicta's the perfect watch because like you can buy Invicta pieces on a cruise. And what's the best Invicta to buy? One that you can afford, one that speaks to you, but I'm going to tell you to do your homework before you go on a cruise. Look at these watches because you may want to order your watch before you go on a cruise because unless they've changed the deals and stuff like that, you're going to pay top dollar for some of those pieces, man. And Victor, I'm not hating on you. I just want my people to save money. If you go on a cruise and you got to have it. Now, keep in mind, if you can buy an NFL or NHL watch off of an Invicta cruise, which they're still, and you are a fan, negotiate the price. Get their absolute lowest price that you possibly can. I doubt that they will price match. I doubt that. But get the lowest price because you can't get NHL anymore because they're not producing them. There's still some out there. They're not producing NFL anymore, but they're out there. So just want to keep that in mind. I don't think, okay, I read that. I collected Invicta in the late 2000s, Jim Skelton era. I feel that the height of Invicta, you felt that was the height of, yeah, Jim Skelton, man, was, yeah, bro, like, and I missed out on the era. I had to go back and watch what he was doing. Man, crazy. Nice size and designs. You could, by mid-size 44. Yeah, and that's the thing, is like, they don't give a range, like, everything. So I got to a point where I was wearing, man, like the biggest Invictas out there. I was loving it, right? And I was working at Enterprise, and I always caught the door jams, man. Boom, boom, scratching cars and stuff like that. Sorry, Invicta, I don't work for you no more, so can't fault me for it. And like I was like, yeah, man. And the older I got, I was like, I don't want this weight on my wrist anymore. And it wasn't. I didn't care what the internet was saying. I just didn't want all of the weight on my wrist. So I started scaling down. 47 to 48 millimeter was my sweet spot. And as you can see, my favorite Invicta still to this day is going to be the Pro Diver. Hands down, it's going to be the Pro Diver. That is my ultimate favorite rendition of any watch that Invicta's ever made. And then the Sabako number one. Sabako number one, automatic. And then I have a few quartz ones too, but the automatic was just special, man. I actually got that, shoot, come on, help me really, yeah. Come on, you already know what it is. I watch many state of the watch collection videos on YouTube, and what I've learned from seeing others' watch collections is that each person has a very distinctive preference, the type of watch they like. Yeah, that's why I like watching state of collections. I do. I love watching it. Tell me what's a thing which is yet hot, even if it's kept in the fridge. It's hot sauce. It's stupid. Ooh, that's a nice blue. You're too freaking funny. But it's still a great looking watch. Brown girl Bella. Now see, brown girl, man, like she's sophisticated, man. Cause brown girl got the Rolexes and I think you got a Rolex, I think, right? But yeah, hey, look, brown girl, she ain't playing. She gonna bust your head with her watches. Try it. Careful with the Russian diver. They may call you a Russian national. Hey, I'm telling you, bro. I think I gave that Russian diver too much screen time, and I probably said the word too many times, man. I'm gonna get flagged. They gonna be like, hey, man, he's a black Russian, man. Get him up out of here. Yeah, man. Thanks for the laughter scene. I can only do what I can do. I can't even do that. Dr. Bob's, hey, you the truth, man. You can have my collection. Bro, you know how many UPS... Matter of fact, to get your collection to my house, I need at least 3 53-foot semi-truck trailers. And those that used to watch Dynasty, I need that whole landscape, man, just to house a fraction of this man's collection. Bro, what you talking about? I am an Invicta holic. That's right. There you go. Thanks everybody for laughing at my jokes. Really appreciate it. No, I like that. Wait, Invicta's not following you already? They don't. I don't think they follow. They look and see what's going on. They don't follow. They don't follow like that, man. Like me and Invicta got a love-hate relationship, man. It's an abusive. Yeah. What's messing Invicta up is all the sales all the time. It brings their value down. Hey, so let's talk about that. With me being around watches as much as I've been around, I said this on a previous live. One of the things that just broke my heart with Invicta was A.L. Lalo went on record as saying that the Sabako Noma line, right? The Noma is the abbreviations of his children, right? And this was a watch line that did not mimic anything else in the industry. Nothing else. Again, and not trying to be funny, but like the Russian diver does not mimic a lot of stuff. Now it has a cushion style case, so you can kind of say Panerai, whatever, but it still has this very distinctive design. And I don't know if Invicta was looking at somebody else, but I've never seen a watch company with a cage. Now, is that to say that it's not out there? No, but I've never seen a Sabako, nothing in the Sabako series that like what Invicta put out. I've never seen another watch that looks like that, right? So this was like his family, that was his legacy. And it always had like either a Swiss quartz or a Swiss automatic movement in their watches. And there was always just like Sabako 1, and then they went all the way up to 8. But before they got there, my favorites is 1 through 3. Right? And then I like 6 too. There's certain Sabako number 6 that I like. Sabako number 4 was a rarity, right? And I have 2 of those, right? And I like that one as well. But Sabako number 3 and 1 are my favorites. But there was just something about it. Then he had the Sabako specialty. I said, man, that thing is crazy. Sabako Venom. That thing is crazy. It's big. Man, it's outlandish. It is a design that nobody else has. This is it for Invicta. And when I saw that they start putting cheap movements in it, right? The PC 23s, PC 33s, the PC anything. I'm like, and then they dropped the price from the $300 to $400 mark down to $99, and I was like, you don't take a BMW, right? In any class, 5 Series, 6 Series, you don't take the X5 and downgrade it to a 1.3 4-cylinder, whatever, you know what I'm saying, 110 horsepower, and start putting roll-up windows in it. You do not do that. You don't take an Infiniti QX whatever and just put hubcaps on it. That you just don't do that. You don't, man. And now I was like, what the heck? So Invicta, I think, in my personal opinion, I think Invicta, the way the industry is moving right now, they should have had their line where, hey, this line right here, $2,000. This line right here, $1,000. This line right here, under $1,000. Anywhere from $30 to $1,000. I'm not compromising. I'm sticking with that. And even with the industry, like the partnerships they had, like the Glycines and Redline. People didn't even know they had they owned Redline and Chase Door. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that they should have kept the significance of those brands. If they're buying them, they should have had somebody to like adopt the system, adopt their lifestyle, and keep their fan base, man, because they let them die. I mean, God, dog, it's like property management, man. It's like you buy a piece of property and you don't do nothing with it. You just let the overgrown weeds and stuff like that. So yeah, so 62% of the people say I'm not a fan of the current Invicta. Those Marvel AP collabs got me looking at Invicta. I think I could dig a Joker watch as the anti-Rolex Batman. Yep. And you know what's crazy? Invicta actually had a Batman in the form of a Pro Diver, aka Submariner. Think about this. And on that one, it actually had Batman on it. They even had one. I no longer have it. It had the dial had Gotham City on it. That watch was silly. I enjoyed it. Let me put my watch back on. I did something that was just so jacked up the other day, man. I went to work. I was having a bad day and I left my watch at home, and I switched vehicles. So my backup watches were in the console of the other vehicle, and that vehicle was in the garage. And I was like, so I was at work. I was just like, this day sucked. This day is trash. I was upset. No, Brown Girl YouTube. Now Invicta does have a YouTube presence, but it's over in the UK. It does America no good at this point. And then they do have JTV, but it's not like it was. They just do not have, like, so they had Ryan Johnson and Justin Zimmer were two of the best outside of the old school guys that was doing it. Sean Wilsey actually dropped a video on. He does a podcast, and he actually talks about Shop HQ because he used to work there for Shop NBC, and he talks, like, if you look up Sean Wilsey and look at all his Invicta talk or Shop HQ talk, he'll give you that's where I was getting a lot of my information from too, through the bankruptcies and stuff like that. Invicta still to this day, you have the ability to get some of the nicest watches that's out there for reasonable prices. Which I'll tell you this: last night I was on Randall Rob's channel. Randall Rob has a number of Invicta, and he's selling them by like a lot, right? You can buy a number of them, and I saw some of he got some Pro Divers. He actually has this version of Pro Diver in the Americana, if you will, or Pepsi. And those are, you're not gonna find that one. There's one that he got. It's an Ocean Master, and I remember that one was on a cruise. You can't get that one anymore. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know where he got it from. And they're brand new. They're in a box. He got a whole bunch of them. So, if you interested, inbox me, man, and I'll put you in touch with him. I did reach out to a couple of you guys already that's looking for some Invicta pieces. So Carly went down. You can easily see. Yeah, they did. Invicta has a variety. The watch for somebody. Yeah, there's a watch for everybody with Invicta. And two watch models that Invicta should concentrate on as the most traditional styles. I don't have a Rolex yet. I have a Cartier watch. Oh, okay, Michelle watch. Yeah, you know what? I met the representative for Michelle watches here in Indy. Man, the presentation was dope. Michelle watches are really nice. Those are great watches. But yeah, your Cartier, man, yeah. I knew it was one of them high, because you brown girl Bella, man. You high class. Blame my dad, who used to say you can always tell where a man is in life from his shoes and his watch. Seiko has a watch with a cage. Okay, I'm gonna have to look that up. Holding soon, he was last night, still cataloging the collection. Yeah. Invicta was a great startup brand for me 15 years ago when I started. The brand was much more dynamic than what it is today. I have learned a lot from collecting those watches, but I have moved on. Long ranges, Kimo Sabi. I think the Sub 3 was a Zenith Defy homage, if I'm not mistaken. And I'm visualizing that. I'm visualizing that thing. I can see it with the chronograph. I can see that with the chronograph. Okay, that's interesting. I'm gonna look more into that too. Seiko Galante has strong Invicta vibes. It was most durable spring drive on Quantum 24 right now. Okay, I'm gonna look that up too. A watch Zenith doesn't make anymore. All right, driving but listen. All right, Luciano, appreciate you. A Batman watch. Well, yeah, they had a Batman watch. Like it was. There's a guy on eBay. He's been having those watches since I've been looking at those watches forever. I think they're priced pretty good too, man, because they're cheaper. He's actually selling them cheaper than what Invicta was selling them when they were brand new, when they came out. You know what I'm saying? And of course, some people aren't looking at that, but I'm gonna tell you this. Whether you're a fan of Invicta or not, and one of the biggest questions is, will Invicta fail? With like, if the tariff things hit, will they last through this? I mean, there's no telling, man. Invicta, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. It's possible, you know, because like Invicta had millions of people buying their watches. Millions of people buying watches, man. Invicta was selling millions of pieces, man. Think about how many, because there's so many people that's not connected to the community. There's people that Costco, right? Amazon, like there's people that just buy it because like, oh, that's a nice watch. It's $150. So, you know what I'm saying? So, who was the Invicta guy who was the original representative that they let go? He was a heavy guy who everyone liked. You have to ask one. I can't remember all like those old school cats. I remember Tim Temple. Crap. I can't think of his name. And I know who you're talking about. I can't think of his name. Cause if you go there, if you look it up, he actually was some controversial videos of him. So yeah, I can't remember his name. Hometown in the house. My most favorite Invicta was the cushion case Hydromax. Yeah, I think it was made out of a carbon case. The Hydromax was crazy. That thing was so thick, man. I wanted Invicta was to lead the movement. Hey, man, I don't know. Rob, I'm gonna see if Rob has any. But there's some people that have like the Salitas and stuff like that. There's some out there for sale. And those that are reasonable. Some people aren't reasonable. Like, let's be for real, y'all. Stop it. Some people are asking way too much money for their watches. You people on eBay that's asking, man, bro. Some of y'all ought to be ashamed of yourself, man. Just because it's not being produced anymore. It wasn't that big a deal. It was hype when it came out. Like some of the Magnums. But you're asking $1,100 for a Magnum that's not even Swiss made, or have a Swiss movement in it? Cut it. Cut it. Stop. Man, and I'm like, nope, nope, nope. Man, y'all be careful on eBay, man, because, like, nah, man. Like, and I get it, you want to make your money, man, but I'm like, yo, bro, let's be for real. That watch wasn't even that much money. Now, there's watches that will garner that type of money. Like, it was a 1970s model of Invicta that had an 18 karat gold case back, and it was manual wind. That watch was fetching up to $5,000 on eBay. Is it worth that? It's a nice watch. That's a part of when Invicta had been sold to a bank. So that watch, yeah, the fact that you can find one of those in good shape, and I know well, I know how to get one. I don't know how much you want for it now, but I know it's like maybe $3,000 or something like that. But I'll reach out to, if you're interested, inbox me. Seiko 1.2K discontinued. Plan getting rid of my Invictas, not into them anymore, just sitting in my watch box. Hey, swag, and that's what it is, man. You know, if you're not wearing them and you have no interest in them, there's always a collector, man, out there, Invicta collector, that wants something that they missed out on. Rolex raises prices again May 1st. Michael Davis, thank you. Invicta was always bounce back. Remember, they're invincible. Invincible in detail, game over. Yo, DK in the house. The only Invictas I have left in my collection is a Pro Diver, Grand Diver. They are actually good watches for how little they cost. Yeah, man. Yeah, bro.
I was gonna say our CEO, that won't be enough to feed them.
I'm just making sure I didn't miss anything. It's always stood out. Yep. Invicta always got something. So I'll end on this one, man. And this is just my live of what Invicta was, just going over a couple of watches. But this right here, this is something that I received from the Invicta team when they were Shop HQ. I have, let's see, RJ, keep the push-ups going. Fatima, which went over to JTV, I have her, and Justin Zimmer. This was a night that they were doing an episode. We were talking. It was in the chat. I won that football. They signed it and sent it to me, right? So these are people that I have purchased, I have met, I have cruised with, I have talked with. I've been to RJ's house up in Minnesota to just hang out with me and a couple of other collectors. And this one, I received this watch right here. And I don't regret my Invicta journey. Is Invicta going to make it through like this? Yeah, I mean, I imagine they will. It's an affordable timepiece. You know, and get this, it's still a relevant brand. It's a relevant brand, regardless of how bad they dropped the ball. Oh man. 62% of you guys say I'm not a fan of current Invicta. That speaks volumes. Can this company rebound? It's gonna cost some money that he may not want to spend. He may not want to invest in there. No risk, no reward. And one thing I do know is that Invicta collectors are loyal. They're loyal. They stand by what they believe in. They believe in their watches. Like, I got some Invicta pieces that are 15, 16 years old. I got some that's older than what I've been collecting. I was blessed enough to get them from the collectors I got them from. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Pick your poison. You know, alternatives to Invicta. Are there alternatives to Invicta? Again, Invicta's a gateway drug. Let me not say drug. Sorry. It's a gateway to other watches. Horology. It's a gateway to other watches, man. You're either going to go into high-end horology because they do dabble in, you know, Invicta did Soul Pride. They've used every movement known to man, just about for the most part. And Yeah, they'll still continue to thrive, I believe. They'll still continue to sell. There's too many people that's buying them. They're not selling on the level that they used to. They lost a great deal of their fan base through stuff that, business. I'm not going to speak on it. I don't know. Auctions are kind of addictive. I found the 8-slot case you signed for me. Oh, bet. You know what? I am. I am because I'm actually gonna be traveling, so I'm gonna put some air in it. It's been sitting like that for I've had that since COVID in that condition. I bet those cruisers were life. Aragon can replace Invicta. Aragon is a great, and I always keep this one because this is one of my favorite Aragons. But those that like Invicta, normally this is too easy to go straight to Aragon. It is too easy. The other company that I always say that if you're looking outside of Invicta, I always say Spinnaker. But another one that you can also go to is Watch Dive's website, which will have Eddie's Dive, Watch Dive. You'll have X Dow Company, Thorn. Man, what's the San Martin? Yeah, so San Martin. Those are great alternatives to that. And then for those that want a more serious timepiece, a more serious dive watch with the heritage and history and stuff like that, you're always going to go with Glycine. And for those that are saying Glycine is owned by Invicta, who cares? That doesn't take away that this is a great watch. And if you know something that I don't, for those that say, well, Invicta has altered the movement, has altered the overall build. If you know that for sure, I'm gonna ask you to take a page out of Mark's over there at Islander Watches. Mark has receipts. He will put information out that he knows. When he did this Terror video, Teddy Bulbasaur, he puts out receipts. When there's something that in the industry that they're doing, they'll always show, right? So if you know that this company, that Invicta is actually making Glycine, please share with the class. Omega is my second choice. I like Omega. Christmas? Oh man. Invicta will always have my heart, not because of the company though, it's because of you all. The family is amazing, and that right there will end on that. That was the biggest and the best thing that I have experienced with Invicta. I've met so many people. I got a chance to experience everything. The cruises, people putting events together down in Tennessee, people flying across from California all the way to Tennessee just to hang out at a hotel to share our enthusiasm and love for a brand. AL Lalo, if you ever watch this with somebody from your family, bro, I don't know what you were thinking. You had the hearts and minds of so many people behind this brand. Still to this day, people are, they're gonna die on this hill. And I remember asking him, did you ever expect that the legs will grow from Invicta like this? And he said, I would have never thought that this would happen. He said, look at these people, it's amazing. You can see that. I did that, was on one of my videos when I interviewed him back in 2020. It was a quick interview, but you know what I'm saying, AL don't get in front of cameras like that. And I had to get him on the spot because I knew if I invited AL to one of these, you think AL is gonna come over here? Absolutely not. So he still owns a brand that this thing transcends time. That's not even trying to be funny. This thing is amazing. The people that I've met, this just crazy, man. The giving and through this channel and using Invicta, man, how many I've sent out so many watches. We have given money to veterans. We have given money for cancer efforts. We have given money for the less fortunate and just doing stuff, man. The travel, everything we've done was the basis, the root of it was rooted in an idea that I had, some other people like you guys, and my members and subscribers, and the money that was funneled through. Come on, man. That's something that So those people, again, those people that rate Invicta, you can't put a price on that. You can't put a rating on that. Like, and if you do, it's like it don't mean nothing to you. It means something to us. So I'm gonna just leave it at that. Thank you for your service. Oh man, appreciate. Be safe. All right, man, Hannibal. Try Google Zen of Defy Extreme. It's what the Sabako number. Ooh, really? Okay, I'm about to go over there right now. That's what they see. Trying to make breakfast. Hey, Dr. Bobs, I'm about to be up out of here, man. What's that? Feather Duro. Thank you. I like that name. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for being members. Subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys for just doing the poll. Like 61% said they're not a fan of current Invicta. Invicta, think about it. Let's get it together, man. You got people out here waiting for y'all next step. You know what I'm saying? Go to, you know what? Y'all are considered a micro brand or independent, so you might as well go to one of these shows, man. AL, show up. That'd be dope. You know what's crazy? AL, I think if you showed up to one of those, like a wind-up meeting or something like that, I'm sure because there's always an Invicta collector in those crowds, in those micro brand crowds. There's always one or two Invictas. I always got an Invicta on me when I'm out and about. So, all right, I'm out of here, man. My day is over with. Hope you guys have an amazing day, man. Until the next lightning strike, y'all be blessed. Hey, go listen to my man Tony Woe's album, man. It's playing now.